Classic Ross. They had to take a couple of days off, just busy things going on all over the place. This is Moses Malone. Now he's already on the game as a Philadelphia 76er, and obviously that particular one looks a lot better than mine because we got some hairstyle issues. Couldn't really get the hairstyle he had, which forehead it was almost like receding, but not quite yet, but it was still into like a little natural. So that's what we did. I did the best I could with this one. I think if I could have got the right hairstyle, I think it would look like a decent amount like him. But there we go. We got hairstyle challenges. So Moses is 6'10". I put him at 242. They had him at 215 on Basketball Reference. If you've seen any images of Moses Malone, you know good and well he weighed more than 215 pounds. So there is that. Take a look at this signature stuff. I don't know. As a matter of fact, I don't know about this jump shot form. I was trying to find one that fit the right way, cause kind of had his elbow extended out pretty far, like more like that one, the Patrick Ewing one. Nah, but we didn't do the whole arc up there. Let's go with. You know what? I like the Kevin Garnett one. I think that one works for the way he shot. So we're gonna go with that. So you're getting some real time stuff here. And let's see, hook shots and all that. Nothing too special. Just a really good low post player. I mean, one of the best of all time. His nickname was the chairman of the boards because of how he rebounded. He led the league in rebounding a total of 6 times, 5 times in a row. This is the 81-82 version with the Rockets. 31.1 points per game that year, 14.7 rebounds, only 1.8 assists, 0.9 steals, and 1.5 blocks. He shot 52% from the field. All right, so now it's time to take a look at the attributes and badges. So here we go with attributes. He got an 87 overall. So for the most part, over pretty much everything, and especially the stuff, anything that's got to do with, shooting close to the basket, pretty high. But shot IQ, the reason why the shot IQ is not that high is because Moses Malone never averaged over 1.8 assists a game. So he's shooting a lot. Just a ton of field goal attempts, period. So for the most part, when you get the ball down there to Moses, it ain't coming back out. He's going to shoot it. So I kind of tried to capture that a little bit, and that's why some of the passing numbers are low. But if you look at like I said, the stuff that's got to do with being in the low post, he is there for sure. So he's going to be a good player. For sure. Got to take a look at the badges. He did pretty good on the badge side too. Comes up with 15, 6 gold, 1 silver. A lot of the other ones are personality badges. So there you see those. So that's it for Moses Malone. It's time to take a look at a few little highlights for Moses. So check it. All right, here we got Zadrunas Ilgauskas. Big Z, taking the 0405 version, 29 years old. This Zadrunas Ilgauskas is not a great player. He's a very good player. He was a very good player in his prime, which I feel like this is around about his prime. 16.9 points a game, 8.6 rebounds, 2.1 blocks. Shot about 47% from the field, 80% from the free throw line. So Zadrunas Ilgauskas is like one of those guys, like early in his career, he had a lot of foot problems, right? So it was like I just really didn't think that his career was going to last really long. I thought it was going to be one of those situations where, you always wonder, well, what would have happened if Zadrunas Ilgauskas would have stayed healthy? But it turned out he ended up stringing together 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 seasons in a row with at least 73 games played. Then he played 65, 64, and 72 in his last 3 games. So he really only had two really, really bad injury seasons, and that was 98, 99 and the 2000, 2001 season. So he had a good career. Now, he's actually 7'3", but the way they got the height, I'm wondering, you know how we always talking about, like, you can't make anybody over 7'2", right? Check this out. So you see that, 7'1", right? Took him a 7'2", he grew. It clicks again, but the guy doesn't really grow. It was like, seemed like it would click a little bit longer. Like you can, like, I don't know what it was. It was like, felt like he would keep growing a little bit, but I think they've taken that out. So I don't know what we're gonna do about the whole seven. You know, when I get to people like Mark Eaton and Manute Bow, I don't know. Have to compensate with arm length or something. I don't know what we're gonna do. But Zydrunas Ilgauskas here, right there. So let's take a look at signature stuff. Jump shot, yeah, because he did not really shoot a jump shot, but that form I think is pretty good. And he also had different hair length at all different times of his career. So I looked up the 05, 06 pictures, and this was the closest thing I felt to that. So let's see what we got here. You know, you can't expect too much from on the dunk side. Gotta have that one. That's you gotta have that one as a big man. Then the one hand slam. They gave him a little tomahawk. You know, nothing too crazy. That one, I don't know. That's a little much. We don't need that one. That's what we need. Something like that. So there you go with that. So now let's take a look at my main man's attributes. So he's actually a 79, which they're saying is below the position average, which I think is kind of whatever, but we'll see here. If you look at the ratings, though, I think he's matching up pretty good. His standing layup's a little low. I mean, he only shot like 47% from the field. A lot of that was because he shot from the outside a bit. And you can see his fadeaway stuff and shot mid-range was a little bit higher than most of the average there. But you know what I looked at, though? He was a really good offensive rebounder. If you look at his offensive rebounds, averaging 3.8 a game. But it was defensive rebounding that he wasn't really doing a lot. Never averaged more than 4.8 defensive rebounds a game, and that was the season I took. So that's why that number is low. Lateral quickness, yeah, not real swift, y'all. Not real swift. He's a humongous guy, so pretty strong. Let's look at the badges. 12 of them. 7 bronze, 1 silver, and then he got 4 personality badges. So, like I think we shined pretty much here. Gave him beta dog because step up if LeBron's not doing his thing or whatever. It was a little time he spent with LeBron. And there you go. That is Zydrunas Ilgauskas. All right. And this was the actual answer to the little clue that I gave in the last episode. This is Thunder Dan Majerle. Yes, his nickname was Thunder. A lot of people saying Chocolate Thunder, Daryl Dawkins. No, Thunder Dan. I think only one person in the comments got it right. Dan Majerle. Of most of his career was spent. Well, the good portions were spent with, or the best portions were spent with Phoenix. I'm taking the 91-92 season. 17.3 points per game, 5.9 rebounds, 3.3 assists. He made 38% of his threes, 48% of his shots overall that year. Majerle, he went through a stretch where he was a three-point just bomber. Like, that year was good. But to be honest, I don't know. The next 2 years, he cranked up his three-point shooting through the roof, and he didn't make any less. Like, this particular year I took was his first year as an All-Star. He shot 228 threes. Well, the next season, he led the league in three-point attempts and three-pointers made. Made 167 of 438. The next year, went up even higher. Made 192 of 503. And still stayed shooting 38% from three-point range. So this was a really good shooter. The only thing here, in terms of making him, they don't have his hairstyle. Another one that we couldn't do because I couldn't make it as good as I wanted to because they don't have the curly hair. So like of all the Caucasian hairstyles they don't have the curly hair. Some people might say, why did they call him Thunder Dan? Well, yes, he was a 3-point shooter, but Thunder Dan would dunk on you. He would dunk on you. He would dunk on you. And I remember like the first time he did it, it was like really shocking and all that because, as a white guy, it don't look like you jump or whatever. And if you didn't follow him at Central Michigan, which is where he went to school, you didn't expect that he was going to dunk on you. But then when he did, it was like bang. It's kind of crazy. So I don't know. This fadeaway here, this contested one is like really crazy. Who shoots they? Nobody does all that, So change that a little bit. This doesn't need to be elite. I don't know why I have this at elite. The dribble pull up. There we go. Not a lot of spin jump shots coming off of Dan Majerle. He was mostly a spot up shooter. And then in transition, he was really like a 3-and-D guy with a finish, being able to finish at the basket. But you wouldn't call him the D guy, really, to be honest, because he wasn't really a good defender. Not many people on that Phoenix Suns team around that time were good defenders. So that's not really that different. So here are the slams. And I said he would dunk on you, but he still wasn't doing like dunk contest stuff. He was doing regular dunks, but he would dunk on you. He'd do it. He'd do it. So let's take a look. Thunder Dan. Look at the badges. He had 10 of them. 4 of them gold, 2 of them bronze, and then he got 4 that are personality badges. So I gave him the jump shot shooting badges. You might wonder, he's got like 1 point, 2 points less than some of the other really, really elite spot up shooters. And the reason for that is the defense aspect for the most part. And just not being able to put the ball on the floor as much as some of the other ones. So these are the attributes. Look at the shooting. We hooked them up with the threes. Not quite hooking them up like Glenn Rice, Reggie Miller, Dale Ellis. Not quite like that, but still, you don't want to. And Peja Stojakovic, you don't want Thunder Dan Majerle open. You don't want him open because he will bust you. So these are the ratings for my man here right now. It's about that time almost. So I'm going to give the clue a little bit earlier in the whole segment this time. This man was the pioneer of what they call hardship back in the day. Right now, we call it leaving early or leaving school early and all of that. This guy was like the first guy to ever, he had to go to court and everything to leave college early to come to the NBA. First guy ever, pioneer in this sense. This is obscure. You got to be a real straight up basketball junkie to know this. So he's going to be included in the next episode. So y'all check that out. And of course, we got some highlights. Peace.
Murphy with the ball. He's picked up by Irving. Malone slams it home for the putback.
This is just great anticipation. Never materialized.
Now Ilgauskas inside. The Cavaliers shooting their first shots from the stripe in this game. And he makes the first.
Enough for him to get a finger on it anyway and send it out of bounds.
Malone against Ilgauskas. And the basket by Malone. Malone's got his second. Irving with the steal. Now Love inside. And the rejection by Malone. Warriors have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Pass to Irving. Ilgauskas in the post. Murphy's there. Ilgauskas. Good.
Boy, they are.
Malone against Ilgauskas. Howard trying to free himself up. And the shot is good. 6 point.
Then he buckets. That pushes this lead up instead of going the other way.
Malone gets the bucket.
We love it, and so does this team because they're taking advantage of it.
Malone's shot good.
He's looking pretty confident.
Barkley outside. Pass to Majerle. Connects from 3-point range. On the wing, Majerle from 18 feet away. That's good on the jump shot. The three. And he gets it to go. Right side. He feeds it to Majerle. Three-pointer. And that one's good. Majerle.